because you mentioned the Speaker's program to call Congress back in after the election and hand out another $150 billion the government doesn't have.
Correct.
That may very well take the deficit for the current year that we're in now to over $1 trillion, which is way over twice the record deficit the country's ever had in the past. Well, that $150 billion that she would like to have as a stimulus will have to be raised by selling bonds to foreigners because we don't save anything in the U.S. So, you know, China and the Middle East and other places will have to buy those bonds to fund that program. If they don't buy them, they'll just have to crank the printing press.
So inflation.
And just inflate the print money and hand out the printed money. Every country that tries printing the money runs into really serious problems.
Right.
And so, you know, the U.S. must maintain its creditworthiness because it's a debtor nation. And that's the issue that's the fundamental issue, that all these things that I was mentioning are needed to come to the point where you actually deal with that.
Well, you know, that just made me think of something. We talked about how energy might help us get out of this hole. But also, I think one thing that's very disturbing to me about the Democrats, and especially my opponent, Nancy Pelosi, she voted against the CAFTA agreement, the Colombian Free Trade Agreement. This is a country that has been a sincere ally of ours, who has really turned around how they've treated the United States. They've been very helpful in counteracting what's going on in Venezuela, and she just won't even, again, she won't even bring this up to a vote. And what I understand is that were it not, I mean, certainly things have changed, but a few months ago, I was told that were it not for our exports, we would already be in a recession. And if they start putting in these trade restrictions, that could hurt us as much as anything else we're doing. Do you agree with that?
Oh, it's disastrous. We're a debtor nation, and when you owe money, you have to pay for it somehow. And by exporting is the best way to pay for it. And so, yes, maintaining free trade is extremely important. You know, the lesson of the last Great Depression was that in the middle of that, the United States put in ruinous tariffs, and it caused the world to go into a prolonged depression that led us to the Second World War. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it's extremely important when you owe money to be able to earn the money to pay it back. And also, you know, the domestic economy is going to be weak no matter what we do for quite a while, right, because we have all these bad loans to work through. So exports are a absolutely key way to improve the job position in the U.S. in the short term.
Right, because with all that they're all the American public is dealing with now, they certainly aren't going to be going out and spending.
Yeah. So, for example, if the Obama program of he calls it renegotiating NAFTA, which means destroying it, goes through, there's a huge amount of trade that will go away. And the problem with tariffs and trade restrictions is that they get the other countries of the world retaliate.
Certainly, yeah.
And so we desperately need to export. So,
right.
So you're absolutely right on that point.
So as we're looking forward, as I look at what we're facing as a country, it seems to me that many of the programs supported by my opponent, or many of the things that could be done that are opposed by my opponent, really are some of our answers of how to go forward in such a difficult time. Because I think even the whole landscape has changed from less than 6 months ago. I mean, certainly from less than 3 months ago. And I think we just have to look at different solutions, and I don't see how the kind of solutions that are being proposed by my opponent, Nancy Pelosi, or for that matter, the Democratic Party, have any place in this new scenario that we're facing. So I very much want to thank you for enlightening me, and hopefully all who listen to this. And I would like anyone who's listening to this and wants more information to look at my website. It's www.danawalshforcongress.com or www.defeatnancypelosi.com. And we'll plan to do more of these interviews with consultants and advisors, and I hope we'll be seeing more of you then. Thank you.